Good day YouTube, Fistful of Goats here, and today I'm bringing you a somewhat budget deck. It's Invoked Shadoll. Now, I'm not playing the Dogmatika engine in this build because I felt with my locals more hand traps were preferable, but you could in theory cut some of these hand traps to play the Dogmatika engine as well. Basically this deck, the goal is to make powerful fusions with both the engines as possible and procure value by looping Alistair, setting a deck with Shadolls. It's obviously a much slower deck than modern day decks, because these cards look a few years old now, but I had fun playing it. Went 2 and 2. Probably could have gone 3 and 1 if I hadn't misplayed in a match with Dogmatika. I played against a Horus deck, a Dogmatika deck, like I said. I played against Live Twins, and I played against Marincess. Oh, and I played against Swords, because we had 5 rounds this week. So yeah, let's take a look at this deck. For the Invoked engine, triple Alistair, triple Meltdown, double Invocation, and 1 Terraforming to search the Meltdown. So this is quite simple here. You play the 3 Alistairs, because he's your best, because he's the normal summon of the deck. You play 4 of this, you play 3 of this and a Searcher, so you have 7 Alistairs in the deck, so you're almost always going to get a way to get to him. Unless you're me, and then you always open just this. Yeah, I opened this, I think, 3 times today without any ways to get Alistair, and a bunch of Shadolls in my hand. Yeah, so what I like about this card is that one thing you can do in this deck is you can send Alistair off of Shadoll Fusion to make a construct. So that way, if you don't open any way to do Invoke plays, you've got your graveyard set up to do this later, because you can then banish to fuse and then bring the Alistair back to your hand. So yeah, if there's no Alistair, in addition to searching up your entire combos, there's also a Honest in hand that can power up your Invoked cards to win in battle. And this is also a branded loss that protects your fusion summons. So yeah, this engine hasn't really changed much until we get some new Invoked stuff. I don't think it ever will. You don't need to play more than 2 of the Invocation because it's searchable, and as I said, you can brick on it like I did today. For the Shadoll package, we have double Squamada, double Wendy, 1 Aerial, 1 Hedgehog, 1 Beast, 1 Dragon, and 1 Falco. So these 2 are the ones you want to play too, because this can summon Shadolls from your deck, and this one can send them to the grave to trigger their effects. I chose to play this ratio because with the rest of them, this is to deal with floodgates or powerful field spells. This is to play in the grind game. This is to fill up our hand for the Shadoll fusion we run, and this is for the grind game to keep resetting itself. You don't use the field effects too much, although this can come up as a minor bug to take out some things depending on the match of it, if the monsters aren't immune to targeting removal. One thing I like about these is that they do. One thing I like about these is that they do offer you, like I said, a way to get Alistair into the graveyard, because Shadoll Fusion only cares about freezing a Shadoll. It doesn't matter what material you send for it. So you can go Shadoll Fusion, dump Alistair, dump a Dark Shadoll, makes constructs, then for visual plays. I will say this, these cards are definitely dated. Like, if you open up a bunch of these, you're kind of stuck without a fusion. This isn't like Burning Abyss, where you can just spam out your field anyway. So I think in the future I might play a little less of these, and maybe especially more Hamtrams or a small Dogmatika engine to go along with them. Factor now we have the fusions, 1 El Shadoll and 3 Shadoll. I play this ratio because like I said, you don't want to open up a hand full of Shadolls, so you're better off sending them for the deck with this. But this comes up because going first you can set it as an interruption, whereas this is better for going second. And of course, for then we have 3 Super Poly. I am playing 2 traditional Super Poly Sagat in this deck, but both the Invoked and the Shadolls require a named card and a card of certain attribute, so you can use these to get those out as well. Like, you can go this plus Alistair, make a Macabre if you're playing against a light-based deck. You can make Winder against a dark-based deck. You can make Caliga against Purgatrio, not Caliga, against all the fire decks that are around now, like Fire Kings in particular, Rescue Ace, etc. This is such a powerful card. And the final Shadoll card is 1 copy of Schism and 1 copy of Incarnation. Schism lets us fusing opponents to it, basically lets us get a last use out of the Shadolls once they're stuck in our graveyard. This card is a comeback card that says, activate Shadoll effect in the same turn and bring them, and then monster ball them from the graveyard. Both good for the grind, both are searchable with Aquapones, you only need one of each. Now again, so if you wanted to, you could run like a Dogmatika engine or a Bestial engine if you wanted to. I chose to do hand traps because they're various attributes that can make certain invoked and Shadoll fusions, and I think they're better against my local meta. So we have 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Imperm, and 3 Droll. The reason I'm not playing Nibiru is because in my local meta, a lot of the decks, they have monsters that are making big towers. Like, you know, they got Pearly, you got Labyrinth, the other kind of stuff. So I think these are the best ones for the situation. Part of me does want to put in Nibiru because it's another light of the construct, and depending on my meta shifts with the new sets, I may. But I like these because, one, Ash gives you access to Purgatrio, and Droll is one of the best in the game. In the game right now, can shut down a lot of decks like Vanadium, for example. I wanted to go with this because it's going first. It's just something you can set face down for attraction. I think in the future I would play Nibiru or maybe Effect Veiler for another light target for Construct. But we'll see how that goes. Then we're playing triple copies of Prosby. We play so many fusions in this deck that some of them can be redundant in certain matchups. So you can use this to get whatever piece of the engine you're missing. Usually we're going for an Invoked piece with this because there's less of those in the Shadolls. But of course, occasionally you can do to get a Shadoll fusion or get a second Shadoll if you've got El Shadoll fusion in your hand. This guy getting printed is so good. I'm glad it's not. I'm glad it's not in the discussion to get put to 1 right now because most decks playing it they kind of fall out of favour like Unchained. So I'm so hoping for that. And finally, we may end up to talents because this deck can struggle if it gets hand trapped. So giving us options to hopefully further to play if like Alistair gets Ash, for example, is really good. And also, some decks play such more powerful monsters than we do at this point. Some people want to steal them, attack with them, then link them, then feed them off with Alistair. And that's the main. Like I said, I think if I made a change, I would put a Nibiru or Effect Veiler in the deck, and possibly cut down the Shadolls because I drew a lot of Shadolls today. Most of the games I lost because I bricked on Shadolls. So let's go on to the extra deck. 1 Artemis. This is obviously to Celtic Macabre and also Construct Blaze. Then we're playing 1 Dark, just 1 Selene, and 1 Access Code. This obviously you climb up into these. You go Dark, bring up a Dark, link it to this, bring back a monster, link it to this. It didn't come out today, but it could potentially. And I'm also playing 1 Masquerena. This was to in retrospect, this probably should have been a unicorn. I don't have SP Little Knight. This should be unicorn. Okay, then we're going to play for Invoked. 1 this thing I can't pronounce. Agadois, double Macabre, 1 Purgatrio, and that's it for our Invoked cards. We're not playing Kaliga because we have ways with Wind a lot on the board. We don't need Kaliga. Then we're playing Shadolls, 1 Construct, double Winder, 1 Aquapone. So I'm not playing 1 Construct because lights aren't as available in this deck, and there are other ways to dump cards to the graveyard. Winder is obviously the most important one. You ideally want to go Winder with Macabre backup to protect it, and 1 Aquapone. This can get us our Schism to get others in the grind game. It's a Veiler on summon, so that's pretty good. I think these were the right call. And the 2 of the super power targets, other than the Invoked and Shadoll stuff, 1 Purplant Starospelia and 1 Madragon of the Swamp. Now, I would play Garua if I had one. I couldn't have a Garua, but this came a couple of times. It was really good to stop things like stop cards like out my window. It was especially good against the Dynamorphic deck because it kept them from doing some. It pretty much kept them from getting more resources, which let me outgrind them with looping Alistair. And that's it for our main side. Let's go our side. We're playing double copies of Herald of the Abyss. I would be playing 3 of this, but I needed 1 room for 1 Harpies for some of the back row decks. So Herald of the Abyss, it's out to things like Pearly. There's a Blackwing player who has that Arm Master that's hard to out. Yeah, this deck doesn't have towers very well, so this is our usual recourse. I think if there was less Rescue Ace and Labyrinth around, I would probably cut this out for a third one. Then we have Triple Shared Ride, aka Max C going first. Basically, this card does is whenever your opponent searches the deck for the first time, you draw a card. So if I go first, I can start some hand traps, slide this in, and then they're basically taking the Max C challenge most of the time. So either my opponent's combos are completely new to because they don't want to give me a bunch of draws, or I draw into enough hand traps to hopefully shut them down. Now this can be a bit of a number if I draw and Lockbird, but sometimes what I can do is, but sometimes it's just a matter of weighing the pros and cons, which do you want for the situation. Then we're going to play my favourite side deck card, Grave of the Superagent Organisms. I hate Branded. We also have things like Labyrinth, Horus, Eldritch, got a bunch of high level cards. This is good shutting those down. This also doesn't affect most of my deck, because one thing you can do is if you're sitting this with a Winder, it's very hard out for a lot of decks. Then we're playing 3 Stolen Judgment. This was going first. I started a hand trap, put this in, because this is going first. This is a better interruption, I think. And finally, Dark Lord No More, because sometimes it's hard to break a board, so I just drop this, then I Super Poly, or I use an Invoked and then run them over with Alistair. So yeah, Invoked Shadoll is not the greatest deck in the world, definitely shows its age, but I had a lot of fun playing it. I'll definitely be looking at some of the Generator Invoked deck soon, hopefully now that the price of the Synchron's dropped. And next time on the deck profiles, I'm going to be showing off a current meta deck mixed with a former meta deck with Unchained Fire Kings, so look forward to that. The next video, the scripted, will be up tomorrow. It is going to be a Yu-Gi-Oh! Guide video, and we're also going to have the second vlog from locals, hopefully during the week, and maybe one more scripted video if possible. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.